Hello, my scream, and welcome back to Victoria 2. And today we are starting a new campaign with Divergences of Darkness, which is mod to Victoria 2, obviously, since we are playing Victoria 2. And let's go to single player. And in our first campaign in Divergences, we're gonna be playing as Bohemia. We'll see who's gonna be our next candidate, or who I'm gonna be playing after we finish this campaign. There are so many candidates we can play as, and we have a lot of things to do. So first thing, we have some decisions, and let's go down. We have two decisions we can take. It's whistle stop tour, and we won't do that right now, because all Purstrata will lose militancy, and we don't have any militancy. So that would be waste of this button. Like prestige is great, but if you won't lose any militancy, it's not that awesome. But Rights of Man I want. Until end of the game we will get prestige. Consciousness will go up, but prestige is prestige. So yeah, let's take it. And now FAQ. So what do we have here? Here is compilation of most frequently asked questions about the mod, so you don't have to search far for the solution. Okay, history of the world. History of the world of divergences is based on several points of divergences, which mostly are located in the 15th century. Duke of Burgundy decides to continue his support for Plantagenets in the Hundred Years' War, leading to the latter unifying France and England. The Prussian Union of Denmark, Norway, and Sweden survives and evolves to a unitary state and integrates Scotland with the Stuarts, leading the Union. Isabel of Spain married Portuguese prince instead of Ferdinand II, who was Aragonese king. The Qingquar Emperor does not stop Ming China's explorations, but decides to pursue them with greater zeal than before. That is the rough edges, and as you can see, many nations have their own histories. Those who do not can be found on the forums where there is dedicated TVG history thread. Military accesses. Military access is not normal diplomatic option in DVG. In our timeline, in our timeline, military access was not an easy to get as in Victoria 2. So in Divergences, only an overlord can get access over its sphere members. It can lead to some problems at start, but it's rather good at the rest of the game with less shenanigans. Now we have some special cases. Bohemia and HRE. HRE still exists at start, although severely weakened. A Bohemian player can try and restore the imperial hegemony by warring Burgundy and Scandinavia, and keeping the German princes under control. All that before 1848. If they don't manage to do this, then they are left with the Lesser Union in northern Germany, or in North Germany, the Albion Confederation, the dual monarchy, which is France and England. The country is divided into three groups: the Anglois, the French, and the English. The goal is to choose whatever to accept one of the two non-accepted or two at the same time. There are many events with hidden variables, so even if you don't think that it makes anything, it still does. Spain and the Iberian Union. The Iberian Union is quite strange concept in Divergences, and those need to be done by force. You have to take Aragonese territories or wait until they lose their Italian possessions for Catalonia to appear. And now we have Infamy redaction. As you can notice, if you look at Infamy redaction, there is a modifier called lack of international code. It models the fact that there is no concern of Europe at start, and no formal international treaty on how states should behave. Important changes in Europe will trigger a Congress that will remove the modifier, but until that you are free to conquer a bit more things. Okay. And that's all. Now we have history of Bohemia. That's gonna be long, really long. There are several pages of history for Bohemia, so that's gonna take some time. The end of Hussite wars from 1419 to 1444 left Bohemia in ruins. Albert von Habsburg died a year after his coronation in 1448, and the kingdom was inherited by his son Ladislav Postumus. One of the Hussite Bohemian nobles, George von Podjebrat, or Jans Podjebrat, gathered an army and took the capital by power, and declared himself the Lord Regent. Catholic nobles rose against him, and civil war broke out, but George swiftly won. Ladislav was elected in 1453, but died 4 years after. George was elected as the king. After a long series of negotiations, he reached an agreement with the Pope, and Bohemia returned back to Catholic Church. After 14 years, in 1471, George died, but before his death, he had elected Ladislav II of Jagiellonian dynasty as a new king. In 1480, the Duke of Normandy, Charles the Bold, started his campaign against the empire. Frederick I von Habsburg was defeated, and the empire turned to Ladislav. He entered the war with the forces of the kingdom united with those of the empire. After a pyrrhic victory in Bohemia's favor at Niederolm in 1483, the peace is signed. Even though the empire lost the war, Ladislav was seen as savior of the Germans, and in the imperial election of 1486, he decisively defeated Maximilian of Austria. At that moment, the Jagiellonian dynasty ruled Germany, Poland, Lithuania, Bohemia, and Hungary. In 1516, he was succeeded in all his domains by his son Louis. 8 years passed, and Suleiman the Magnificent, emperor of the House of Osman, invaded the Middle Europe in grand campaign. Louis sent a portion of his army to face the Ottoman threat, but he underestimated the enemy, and in 1526 the combined Bohemian and Hungarian forces were defeated in Battle of Mohacs, and Hungary fell under direct Ottoman control. The aggression turned a huge threat to Christendom, and Louis rallied a holy league of Germany, Bohemia, Austria, and Poland, Lithuania. They managed to lift the siege of Brno and reconquer a small piece of Royal Hungary. With both sides exhausted, the peace is signed in 1530, and the Ottoman hegemony over Hungary would last almost 300 years. Sigismund, second son of Louis, is given the title of the Margrave of Nitra. Meanwhile, in Zurich, Zwingli proposed his 95 theses, and Louis tried to arrest him at the Diet of Worms. But Zwingli managed to escape with the help of the Burgundians. The Protestant started to spread through the empire as a disease. Louis, in response, declared himself the most Catholic king and started to root out the heresy in massive acts of recatholization and counter-reformation. In 1547, Louis was succeeded as the king of Bohemian lands and the emperor of the Holy Roman Empire by his son Ottokar III, who, thanks to his marriage to Elizabeth of Brandenburg, the only heirs of Joachim von Hohenzollern, inherited the Margraviate in 1550. As a true Catholic, he began to fight the Protestantism, thereby supporting Jesuits and the Inquisition. The religious conflicts inside the empire reached its climax in 1605, when the angry crowd executed the Bohemian appointed governor of Berlin and declared Brandenburg free. Ottokar IV quickly responded by sending his army to reconquer the Margraviate and restore order. But the events had already begun to move. An alliance of North German Protestant lords declared himself the Protestant League. They sought support in both Scandinavia and Burgundy, two major Protestant powers. Scandinavia responded with attack on Pomerania. As a reaction to the Catholic League of Bohemia, Austria, Bavaria, and Poland was formed. In 1615, in the Battle of Neubrandenburg, the Bohemian armies almost annihilated, and Scandinavians started their advance to the south. The war seemed lost, but thanks to successful negotiations with then King of Dual Monarchy, Francis I, England, France entered the war in 1616. The Burgundians sued for peace. Nordic forces were decisively defeated in 1619 in the Battle of Mjolnir, but the northern naval blockade of empire was crippling the trade, and so in 1621 the peace was signed in Hamburg. Scandinavia annexed Pomerania and abolished the Hansa, and Bohemia regained control of Brandenburg and added Duchy of Saxony to its possessions. The freedom of religion was declared in the empire, thanks to laws accepted in Frankfurt in 1484. The lands of the Bohemian crown were excluded from this treaty. Relative stability was reached, and the Jagiellonians ruled peacefully for another 150 years. Their dominance in Europe, in empire, is threatened only by Burgundy. In 1790, the German Revolution began, but the revolutionaries are defeated by the Imperial Army 5 years later. Wenceslav VIII felt that his position was strong enough to centralize the empire and achieve the Middle European hegemony. The Scandinavians and Burgundians responded with declaration of war and starting the Great German War. Military success on the part of Wenceslav VIII, dubbed the Land of the North, saw many military victories over the Burgundians and Scandinavians. However, after 3 decades, Wenceslav VIII was forced to realize that he was unable to achieve Central European hegemony and sued for peace, signed in Frankfurt. The Reichstag was reduced and the imperial electorates were dissolved, but Bohemian king would continue to call themselves the emperors of the German nation and retain hegemony over the remaining Eastern German states. Wenceslav would be murdered the following year and would be succeeded by his son Sigismund V. And that's all. Now we have income cuts. Due to the world being so generous towards less gifted nations of the world, we earn more fortune than we could possibly dream of. Maybe we should be less greedy. I have no idea what this does, so I'm not gonna click it. Restore Economica, not gonna happen. And we cannot do anything else right now. Change national vote, active. Who knows what that does. Now we need to choose technology. So we're gonna be at war, hopefully soon, against we need to defeat Scandinavia and Burgundy as soon as possible. So we need to build artilleries, as many artilleries as possible. And we also have mobile artillery, so let's build them. Okay, there is difference between mobile artillery and regular artillery. They have same siege. Regular artillery has a little bit better attack and defense by 0.1 point. Artillery has 100% discipline. Mobile artillery 50. Support is 200% versus 300. Maneuver 5 versus 3. And mobile artillery is twice as fast and they have lower fort attack and defense. But we need them. Also, we need population. Or we have national focuses, so let's use them. And we need to increase our here. We need more points. And we can get more points by having around 100% of bureaucrats, 4% of capitalists, 2% of clergymen, and 8% of clerics. Right now we have a lot of unemployed people everywhere. So let's support or let's encourage capitalists in Bohemia and Silesia. Also, Imperial Party, what can you do? I don't think you can do good things. Okay, so as Imperial Party, we cannot build factories, we cannot expand factories, we can open and close them, we can destroy factories, we cannot build railroads, we can prioritize factories. That's unfortunate. Also, money. Where are money here? We need to spend as much money on the education and administration as possible. Tariffs, I'm gonna set tariffs on 3% right now. Effective tariffs is 1.5%. Yeah, because we have not such great administrative efficiency. Okay, let's set tariffs on 5%, since it's effectively 2.5%. And new technology. Engineers, that would be useful, or they would be useful. Oh, artillery support, mobile artillery support. You know, let's go for heavy armament. We need better support for artillery and some good inventions. And we need allies. Right now, Scandinavia and damn it, Scandinavia. Click, finally. Right now, Scandinavia and Burgundy are allied, but in my try, which I played before I started recording, I did play Bohemia for 1 year, and in this try or that try, they broke their alliance quite soon. So I'm gonna be hoping that that's gonna happen again, because there is no one we can actually ally, and by no one I mean like people from who are great powers, because dual monarchy is allied with Spain, right? You are allied with Spain. Yep, they are allied with Spain, so we cannot ally those guys. Scandinavia and Burgundy are allied, but we're gonna be enemies with them. We're gonna be fighting them, so no alliance with them. And that means we have Aragon, Ottoman Empire, and Belgian Confederacy. Belgian Confederacy is in America. No, they are not in America. They are in, where is diplomacy? They are in Arcadia. Here. They are in Arcadia. So their alliance would be quite useless, and they are currently at war with Plantagenet. Okay, that's war for what? Macedonian uprising, Phoenix invasion, Dungting versus Regency of Nanjing, Belgian liberation of Neuven Leinster. Okay, Belgian Confederacy versus Plantagenet, and Plantagenet is at war against Vinland. So many wars. It's gonna be fun. Plantagenet is into wars. It could be fun to play. It could be fun to play as them to gain land from Vinland and Belgian Confederacy. Well, we'll see what's gonna be whom we're gonna be playing in our next campaign. And let's go. We have some events which are firing immediately. Our growing influence in foreign government allows us to station troops in their territory. Yeah, we have military access through Bohemia. Oh, and I totally forgot. We need alliances. In this mod, alliances work a little bit, or we need different things to gain alliances. Right now, if we're gonna go to Hungary, for example, they won't accept because insufficient relations. We need at least 100 relations. At least I think it's 100. It could be like 95, but I think it's 100. So we need to increase the relations. And also, Hungary, you're gonna be my priority. I want you to be in my sphere of influence. Austria, you don't like me that much, but our influence or our relations are growing. That's nice. Also, again, Europe, and I want people in my sphere of influence. You're gonna be a low priority. I want to gain influence in their from their territory. We need to liberate a lot of people from Burgundy's sphere of influence. And since we're gonna be at war with Scandinavia, I want France. I think Commonwealth would be great addition to our SR ally. Also, we have money. Let's spend some money on railroads in Hungary, so we can get influence in Hungary a little bit faster. Okay, we have 18,000 ducats. Can we build more? Yep, we can build more railroads. Hungary, did I increase our relations? No. Yeah, let's increase relations with Hungary. Then we can increase, okay, we can increase our relations with Hungary again in January 16th. Okay, in 14 days. Now we have this crisis. The system of crisis sometimes end with weird scenarios in the game start or too early in the game, like Crisis for Freedom of Ireland in 1840. To counter that crisis, non-colonial crisis at least, are locked until someone researches revolution and counter-revolution in 1870. If you like, you can change that now and have the crisis be unlocked from now on, like it's in vanilla. No, I think it makes sense that it's gonna be locked behind revolution and counter-revolution. So yeah, let's keep it locked until 1870. Also, we're gonna be at war with Scandinavia hopefully soon. Berlin, you're gonna be my rally point. And troops, I want you to move near Berlin. Birth rate exploding. Our population appears to be breeding like rabbits. Must be something in the water. Nice. Well, I don't like that literacy going down, but I like that we're gonna have a lot of people. What's this? First minister appointed. Our new first minister is popular figure. Great. Also, if you look at our army composition, it's terrible. Here we have 5 infantry, 1 light cavalry. Oh, I should build 1 more. Nope, not yet. It's terrible. In great army composition for beginning of game is 4 infantry, 5 artillery, and 1 horse. So I'm gonna be deleting 1 infantry in every army. If that army has 5 infantry. And we need more artillery. Okay, you will lose 1 infantry. You're gonna lose 1 infantry. Nope, that's artillery. Infantry. And you're gonna lose 1 infantry. Now we have to wait. I think it's until March. We can build more units. No. Okay, let's build 1 horse. With cavalry and light cavalry and cruiser dragoon. Royal wedding. Several ministers suggested that the royal heir is old enough to be married. They suggest seeking out suitable candidate from among the royalty of Bohemia's neighbors. This will not only please the masses, but establish better relations between our 2 countries. Oh yeah, let's get better relations with Bavaria. Bavaria, what's our relations? Oh, 125. So let's form an alliance, since you are in our sphere of influence. And what horses are we using? I think it's like, oh no, okay, it's a light cavalry. 2 reconnaissance, light cavalry. You have 3 reconnaissance, 1.2 attack. What's this? Infantry? Regular. Okay, regulars, they have better attack, better defense, 100%, 140% discipline, 100% lower maneuver, same speed. Now let's keep regular. Don't think we're gonna be using in this infantry. Now, what's better? Which horse? Dragoon? Like we need as much reconnaissance as possible. Dragoon 1.5 defense. You know what? Let's build 1 dragoon. 1 dragoon, and we need more mobile artillery. We have some newspaper. War between Belgian Confederacy and Plantagenet, and we can improve our relations with Hungary again. And another German miner wants alliance. Yeah, let's accept that. And we are getting a lot of money. Is our... Okay, our militancy is not growing. I like that. What's this? Commonwealth? No. Scandinavia. You are trying to influence Scandinavia. No, Scandinavia. You are trying to influence Commonwealth. I don't like that. Public listed companies was a marvelous way to make some money. A fledgling stock and bond market has been introduced to Bohemia, particularly in Prague, where frenzy of speculative trading has already begun. Bohemian economists are optimistic about the effect that this will have on a private investment. Though some have expressed worry that what goes up may also come down. For now, we enjoy prosperity, but what will tomorrow bring? Okay, alliance between Scandinavia and Burgundy is over finally. So when our truce will be finished? In 9 days, we will get artillery. Awesome. So this army is in need of horse. Okay, horse. You move to stand. Oh no, you stay here. You, 12,000 of you, move to Prenzlau. You move to Pristvolk. You move to Pristvolk too. Oh, you are also moving. Great. Go to Pristvalk. And you move to Stendal. And you have 4 artillery, 1 horse. You are moving. Another artillery. Okay, you move to Pristvalk. Military parade. In the eyes of our soldiers, as they parade through the streets, nothing can be seen but utmost devotion to Bohemia and the ideas for which our nation stands. These men, and the description fits them, have been fostered since childhood into rigid and firm belief in our nation, and they would die to defend it. We're gonna lose relations with our neighbors. I don't like that. Yeah, let the people witness our strength. Let's get prestige and we can lose some consciousness. Also, we're gonna be at war with Scandinavia, and I should have started fabricating or justifying war goal on Scandinavia a little sooner. So we want to take someone from... we need to take Bremen. Nope. Or they're from their sphere of influence. Oh, damn it. I wanted to release them. Can I cancel it? Yes, I can. Okay, let's cancel it. And let's wait for... we have to wait for our next interaction until May 1st. Okay, we can wait a little bit longer. Artillery, you are moving towards Spritzwalk. Awesome. Great. How many troops can we build? 1 artillery. Okay, let's build another artillery. And oh, it's May 16th already. So diplomacy, let's start justification. We want release puppet. Yep, let's do that. And with that, it's time to finish this episode here. If you enjoy this episode, please continue watching and have a nice rest of your day. Goodbye.